April 14th, 2023. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast talking about SmackDown. Why? Because Rampage tonight starts sometime after the sports ball. Oh, it did? Okay, well, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows with these uncertain times, in these uncertain times, and these uncertain time slots. We're talking about SmackDown. We're just a few weeks away from Backlash. And here we are, face to face. Myself, NYC Demon Diva Issa, and Jimmy Korderas. This is becoming a thing.
Yeah. Well, I was originally, during the original draft, a SmackDown exclusive referee.
Oh.
So,
There you go.
Maybe I should have worn the blue shirt tonight.
You should. I need to get a blue pullover and a blue hat just for SmackDown and start,
No,
repping.
you stick with the pink, damn it.
I know. I've ordered so many pink outfits, Issa, that my wife is like, Issa makes one comment to you about how good you look in pink, and you're buying an entire wardrobe.
Jimmy, do you own any pink shirts? I would love to see you in pink.
Yes, I do. Actually.
Okay, can you please wear it? I have a request. Can you wear it on Wednesday for the next podcast we do together?
Oh, wear a pink shirt next Wednesday? I'm gonna have to write it down here. Because as I say to my wife all the time, by the time I get from my little office here down to the kitchen, I forget what I went to the kitchen for. So.
Same, honestly. Then I'll tweet Justin Labar. Maybe I'll make Wednesdays a pink podcast too. See, Glenn?
Sure.
That's the influence that I have.
There you go. I bought a pink outfit. It's like a matching pink button-down shirt and pink linen shorts. And then I found a hat in the same color, and I put that on. And my wife said, "You're not allowed to wear that out of the house."
Right. Why didn't you send me? Did you take a picture? There you go.
It's probably for the best. There's no photos of it. It's a look, Issa. It's a look.
I love that.
So SmackDown tonight. Do we have any news first? Anything happen? What's going on? What's the latest on the CM Punk situation? Is he back? Is he coming back?
Coming back.
Apparently, it sounds like he is. And you know what? If he can just, we hear all these different versions of what happened. There's always three sides of the story: his version, the other side's version, and then the truth.
Yes.
But somewhere in the middle lies the truth. But if CM Punk is willing to put things aside and do business and make some money and get some recognition for the company, because obviously CM Punk is a help to that company from a fan's perspective, because it's not only that diehard hardcore wrestling fan that Punk attracts. He also, the old school fans who may have tuned out a little bit, like from the Attitude Era and from the days of the pipe bomb.
Yes, the days of the pipe bomb from so long ago.
Yes,
which
you never know.
I mean, that was over a decade ago now. Isn't that crazy?
I know, it's amazing.
It is nuts. But yeah, maybe he will bring some odds, right?
Yeah, why not?
And according to that Fightful story, if WBD is hot on Saturday nights and a soft brand split for AEW to keep Punk away from the Elite, maybe we'll get Saturday night Punk. He could anchor the show.
They should just give him Rampage. I don't think you need a new show. Give him Rampage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except that they tape Rampage after Dynamite.
Right. So they're all in the same building, so you never know.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. All right, fine. I see the point. We need Jimmy in there putting things under control. We need a good referee, because the referees are questionable at times.
Don't get me started. Anyway.
Yeah. So that's the big story. WWE stock hit an all-time high this week.
Yeah, it did.
Kind of crazy. And Vince McMahon's gonna be held to a code of conduct. Go to Wrestling Inc. for all the latest news. But tonight we're here to talk about SmackDown,
right?
And we opened with both Canada and America's sweethearts, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Issa, what did you think of that reaction they got from the crowd tonight?
It's not at Roman Reigns level, but it was pretty good.
Jimmy, how are you feeling about KO and Sami as tag team champs?
I like them as tag team champs because there is a true to life story behind them being buddies from the beginning, getting into the business together, working together, and like good brothers, sometimes good brothers are at odds, so it's a nice little story and it's a nice little package. So they're presented well together. Let's put it that way.
when I put my Roman Reigns fandom aside, I will say I always wanted to see them get a run as tag team champions, just because of the history they share for so long. But I don't like. Sorry, I'm being bullied by my 5-pound dog right now. I don't like to see any tension between them yet, and I feel like they teased that a little too much tonight.
But I get your point, Issa. But at the same time, that tension's always been there. So it's almost like it's almost expected, so to speak, that yes, they will work together, but there are times where they may not agree.
True. I mean, they turn on each other so many times that there should always be a little bit of question, in there.
Right. Well, the Usos and Solo Sikoa came out, and I like the Usos saying that, Kevin, this time it's going to be Sami that turns on you and betrays you.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, trying to plant the seed back. You know what I mean? And trying to
reiterate.
Yeah, and trying to reiterate how everything is just peachy keen with the bloodline. There is no problems here.
This was good. They were surrounding KO and Sami in the ring. I mean, talking about rematches, which got set up later in the evening for their tag team titles. But when it looked like they were outnumbered, Matt Riddle came out and helped even the score.
Yeah. I like that. It makes sense and I like the fact that they addressed the reason why Matt Riddle is out there. Because of an earlier incident, as opposed to leaving it up to us to try and remember. And as we talk about on and off the air, sometimes we don't remember things. But it's nice to explain to the audience again and to reiterate there is a reason why Matt Riddle wants to get retribution against the bloodline and specifically Solo Sikoa.
And this isn't just a wrestling fan thing. I mean, Issa and I do a podcast about Yellow Jackets, and last time we were trying to remember things that happened last season, let alone last week. Yeah. So I like that WWE leaned heavily on the Riddle and Solo Sikoa story tonight to really set up why Matt Riddle is now in this feud.
And I do like to see a more serious version of Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle is out for revenge on Solo Sikoa, and he feels a little more serious than what we got from him in the past.
It's true. Normally he's like, bro. And now he's like, bro. Now he's like, bro.
Yeah.
Serious, bro.
But there's I'm sorry, bro is universal language, and the way that you say it could mean a lot of different things.
Okay, wait a second. There was a stand-up comedian, and why am I blanking on his name? But that was his entire bit, was about dude. It was about how you could use dude for anything. And why am I blanking on the stand-up comedian that did that routine? But it was exactly that.
I feel that way about bro. Because I can be like, bro, and then I could be like, bro. And then I can be like, bro. Like, there's so many different ways that you can say it, and it could all have a different meaning.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat, somebody my age or older that remembers the stand-up comedian from MTV's Half Hour Comedy Hour. Mm-hmm. It wasn't David Spade. I think it was David Spade, but I don't think it was David Spade. I think it was, but it was that era. It was like late 80s, early 90s.
I wish I could remember. Oh,
this is gonna bug me. This is gonna gnaw at me.
There you go.
Yeah. Adam Carolla had the version of how Miho could be used to explain like an entire story arc. But yes, I remember the dude stand up. Now this is just gonna bug me.
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider had the dude bit?
I don't know.
Could have been.
I'm trying to Google here really quick, but no, it's not working. Never mind.
But yeah, it was around that era. It was good. Yeah. I mean, this was like solid comedy. But yes, that's entirely Rob Schneider, meanings of dude. That's correct. On the last ride. 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Look at
of
you,
hilarity.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Look at you, Jimmy. You did it.
I did it.
Yes. So that's Matt Riddle's arc right now. He's gonna bro is gonna have every connotation.
But it's a big deal for Matt Riddle, though. You got to admit, being put into this position and opposite the bloodline, which is one of the hottest things going in pro wrestling right now. If not, hottest. Yeah.
I mean, in fact, I didn't like this pairing at first, and I even found myself saying, "What in the hell is Matt Riddle doing in this?" And then they said, "I was like, okay, now this makes sense."
Right.
And then you were like, "Bro," right?
I was like, "I get it,
bro." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's a little less mellow now.
It would actually be an improvement to his gimmick if that's all he said was bro, if it was like his I am Groot, and you just had to sort of infer the emotion behind how he was saying it. think that would be a solid upgrade.
Sure.
So yeah, this brawl between them set up everything that happened later. And Adam Pearce was backstage with the referee, Solo and Riddle. Main event tonight.
Yes.
But then we had LA Knight versus Xavier Woods, and the LA Knight hardcore fans, the LA Knight, the LA Knighters, the LA Knight Riders, who swore
I love
up and
that.
down.
I see what you did there.
No, that is amazing, Glenn. That is t-shirt magic right there. LA Knight Rider, and him in one of those old school Trans Am fire. Oh.
Well, the LA Knight Riders, who believes he is a future world champ, have been saying, come WrestleMania, he was screwed at WrestleMania. He was booked poorly before WrestleMania. He got over.
He's talking about Alfred. Anyway.
Yes, tonight is going to be the start of the LA Knight ride to the top in his match against Xavier Woods, and he lost.
Yeah.
It was one of those weird situations where both of them could have used the win.
I mean,
but at the same time, you got a guy like LA Knight who is young, and there's a lot of future ahead for him. And I think, could he have used the win more than Xavier? I think people expected the win, LA Knight to win the match.
Yeah,
it's nice to see Xavier Woods get a W, but I think sooner rather than later, LA Knight, I don't think lost any steam here, but at the same time needs to pick up some W's to really get him back to where he needs to be, because he does tick all the boxes right now.
Jimmy, I just want to point out that Xavier Woods is actually 4 years younger than LA Knight. So if we're trying to push the young grasshopper between these two, it is actually Xavier Woods.
Okay. Let me rephrase young from newer talent to the company.
I know what you meant. I'm just giving you crap. It's Friday night. I've been drinking.
This was a very good match still, despite the outcome.
It was great. I thought it was really, really good. I was really into it. I was invested. But I agree. I did think both of these guys needed the win, and I hate when you put them in that situation, because you're not gonna be happy with the outcome because somebody that needed the win is gonna lose.
Xavier Woods is a made man. Future Hall of Famer, massive personality within the company, outside of the company. LA Knight needs his bona fides, as it were.
Okay, but let me talk to you, Glenn. If this is setting up a match, let's say Backlash, right? And Gunther is going to continue to be Intercontinental Champion, would you rather see LA Knight kind of lose here, or would you rather see him lose to Gunther? You see what I'm saying? Because what seems to be coming off of this is going to be that Xavier is going to lose to Gunther.
Well, that's the funny thing. The LA Knight Riders were saying, oh, he lost to Xavier, but this is the start of a feud. He's going to get that win next week, and it's going to be so much more meaningful. And then we immediately go to Xavier Woods getting into a feud with Gunther for the IC title.
Basically committing suicide, right? Stepping up to Gunther. Like, you should get them checked, because that's suicidal.
I mean, it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy. But like,
I wouldn't step up to Gunther.
Like, I'm not an LA Knight Rider myself, but who did he piss off?
How dare you? You said he was your favorite wrestler in the whole wide world at one point.
I didn't say that. Uncle Howdy said that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It's funny, because when situations like this happen, where you have a guy like an LA Knight, a talent as who you see extreme potential in, not just potential, he's got it, and you're wondering, why is he not been elevated to the next level? Sometimes there is a deeper story behind it, and maybe they're building something here that when it does hit, it'll. This is what I'm hoping, at least. It is a launching pad for LA Knight to new heights. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, he does tick. I've said it how many times? He ticks all the right boxes. He is a great talent. It's just. Maybe it's something we're hopefully waiting to see, that's going to really go, and catch everybody.
I mean, I don't know. If this was the start of his rebuild, this was not the start of his rebuild.
No, Glenn. The start of his rebuild would come after the draft.
Okay.
After the draft. Interesting that the draft is taking place right before Backlash. I thought they would do Backlash and then reset right afterwards, right? But the draft happening like the week, like right before Backlash, I thought that was a little odd.
Is it happening the same week as Spring Breakin', or is it the week after Spring Breakin' in NXT?
That's a good question. I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, let's look at the dates, because that also is going to affect some of these call-ups, right?
Right.
But the other interesting thing is that it is the next Friday, 2 weeks Friday, is the first night of the draft, and then the Monday is the second night of the draft, and then there's a SmackDown in between the two draft nights and the pay-per-view or the PLEs.
Right, it's weird. It's weird when they're choosing to do it. It falls on a weird time.
Yeah. So Spring Breakin' is on the 25th. Draft starts on the 28th. So NXT can have some nice, tidy little wrap-ups.
Right.
It's Spring Breakin' for those. I think Braun Breaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb catchphase. It's not even.
I love it though. I love it so much. I'm sorry, I do. I'm a sucker for the
As someone who's a sucker for T-shirts, that's easy to put on one. So
I don't think you could. I don't think you could trademark it. You know, that's going to be the challenge.
Oh no, because they did the yes for the. I was gonna say, how do you trademark yes for Daniel Bryan, but they put multiple yeses.
Look, if there's a trademark for Little John owns it. So, you know.
Good point. Valid.
Oh man, do you think LA Knight just sort of stole that from Lil Jon?
No, not at all.
Borrowed.
It's fair. I mean, it's not the same, but I don't know.
He borrowed it.
Wouldn't it be the first time wrestling like just completely stole a gimmick from another medium?
You don't say.
I love that Vince had never seen Scarface and had no clue what Razor Ramon was doing.
My God, Razor Ramon, man.
Knowing Vince, he was probably ribbing him.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. What do you think
he
Vince's
did such
favorite
a good
movie
job,
is?
Though. He did such a good job. Razor Ramon. Like, I remember seeing him young, and I mean, as a young Latina girl, I thought he was Latino. I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
He was doing such an awesome job.
Like him, Fisher Stevens in Short Circuit. Like, you know, there used to be a lot of like uncomfortable appropriation. Jimmy, what do you think Vince McMahon's favorite movie is?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know if he watches movies, but I could imagine Vince. You know, a lot of people think, "Oh, is it you know, you mentioned Scarface or The Godfather or something like that." Watch it be something like Airplane.
Yeah, I was gonna say Airplane or Caddyshack were gonna be my two guesses.
Right. Yeah.
You never know.
I was over Unger and he was underdone.
So Xavier is going to take on Gunther. He was playing trombone backstage, annoying Gunther and Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
We had the recap of Solo beating down Matt Riddle. We had Zayn and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn warning Matt about Solo and building this up tonight. And then Judgment Day, Damian Priest saying he was going to address the Bad Bunny situation for Backlash. And we went into this match for Damian Priest with Judgment Day versus Santos Escobar with the LWO. Mm-hmm. Jimmy, what'd you think of this match?
No, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a good match. The expected outside interference from all the parties that were outside came to fruition, but that's what heels do, right? They try to take advantage. At least when you do the distractions, try not to put the heat on the right people. Make it creative enough where the heat goes to the heels. And I think they kind of pretty much accomplished that tonight. And they got their heat in the right place. And Dominic Mysterio is just getting tremendous.
So good.
Oh my goodness. And the heat he's getting from the crowd is amazing, especially in an era today where everybody, thinks, oh, wow, he's such a great heel. And they like it. Dom gets like legit heat. And it's amazing. Yeah. But I enjoyed the match. I thought they had a heck of a match.
Or he doesn't have to talk crap about the crowd or the town or this or that. Like, I noticed that right before they were introduced to come out to the ring, just Kayla Braxton saying backstage, I'm here with Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio. And you
Oh my
hear the
God.
boos before he even says anything. And I'm like, I love it so much. And I know that's against what we just said, but I absolutely love what Dominic is doing right now. I personally, Damian Priest, man, Bad Bunny's headlining Coachella tonight. You couldn't wait to address this on Monday. Like, this guy has a big night tonight. First Latino to headline Coachella, and you're out there talking crap about him. Come on. But I love this match. I thought it was very, very great. I mean, there was a chancla, okay, and all Latinos chancleta survivors. When Selena Vega brought out that chancleta, if you guys missed the interview that I had with Selena Vega, I asked her about this as a fellow Puerto Rican girl, probably another chancleta survivor. We've been dying to see a chancleta become involved, and she brought that out tonight. And oh, my heart, also my PTSD, both of them combined. What a moment. I am here for this, and I think it is the right time to do this feud with Backlash coming out in Puerto Rico. It's such good stuff. It's such good stuff. I'm a fan of everything.
I mean, Damian Priest getting this win was cool, but man, I really want Rhea versus Zelina for the
That's what it's leading towards.
It better not end up being some mixed tag.
No. I think Zelina and Rhea will just I see what you're saying, but I feel there's a lot of tag team matches that they're teasing for Backlash, so I hope this one at least is a one-on-one.
Now, do you think if Zelina goes for that move again, we just have like hundreds of flip-flops tossed into the ring at Backlash?
I hope so.
Oh.
I hope so.
Can you imagine? Oh, my goodness.
Man, now you're giving me ideas. I'm going to a dollar store and buy a bunch of freaking flip-flops and bring them to Backlash, aren't I? Yes, I am. All right, great.
That would be, if you thought the rubber chicken was over, that would be like a moment to end. That would be like an ECW level moment if that happened at Backlash. You should organize that happening at Backlash.
Yeah, I just might. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you for that. I also might be organizing a rubber chicken moment too, but that's different. That's for a different match. Okay.
No, but like you said, I thought as far as the match goes itself, I thought it was a really good match, and you could tell because the crowd started off kind of into it, but then they really got into it, and they really.
Yeah, and it might be because I'm fans of both of these guys, but I automatically thought the different styles, the difference in sizes. I was invested as soon as they announced Santos Escobar against Damian Priest, and it showed. And it showed. I thought they both showed off. I really liked them. I'm excited for this. I shared it before. I bought one thing WrestleMania weekend, and that was that LWO shirt in the Puerto Rico colors. They know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing. Now they got a shirt. Now they got to sell us some freaking Puerto Rico color flip-flops. Let's make it happen. Give me that Shanka in Puerto Rico colors, WWE. Don't put your money on the Cody belt, okay? Sell the Puerto Rico color Shanka at the shop.
Ray came out also and got into it with Dominic.
I don't even understand why. What a horrible father. Deadbeat. You heard in his Hall of Fame speech, he said he took time off when Aaliyah was born. Did you hear him say he took time off when Dominic was born? He didn't. No.
That's because you learn from your past errors.
Jimmy!
But
wait. So in Succession terms, was Dominic the first pancake? Think about that for a second.
Oh, okay.
That's what he imperfect, but he figured it out enough to do right on the next one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Horrible. Dominic is a considerate son. He said on Monday he didn't want to hit his dad, and here comes his dad sticking his nose on Dominic's business. Horrible parenting.
Oh, okay. Buying into the heels story there, but the other nice little side thing I liked about this too, Ray coming out with the LWO shirt helps put them over just that much a little more.
I mean,
it's really funny because I'm very into Judgment Day, right? My feelings, like, and I don't know, I can't wait to see how Puerto Rico reacts to this in the PLE, because my heart is so torn, right? Oh, you guys know how much we love Bad Bunny here. Damian Priest being a fellow Puerto Rican, but you got Selena Vega, you got that LWO, like all the Latino spice involved in this rivalry. It's beautiful to see. I haven't seen this much representation in a while, so I'm enjoying every freaking second of it.
Nice.
Well, I think it's going to be incredible at Backlash.
# Viva la Raza.
And they're just going by the LWO now. No more Legado del Fantasma.
What?
Is LWO just
Yeah, it's Legado, Selena, and Ray.
Yeah, but so it's replacing Legado. We're not going to use that term anymore to refer to them.
I would assume after this they will go back to Legado, right? Like
I don't know.
they're just doing it now to back up Ray. Like this whole thing started because they wanted to back up Ray, whether Dom got involved at Hall of Fame. That's how the conversation started, and here we are.
I mean, hey, if it sells enough merch and gets over enough,
exactly.
Why ever go back? So Paul Heyman backstage with the Bloodline. He is so good. And Solo cutting him off was phenomenal in this promo, but I just loved. Actually, you know what this reminded me of? And this is weird to say this about Paul Heyman. This was a bit of an Enzo Amore style promo that Paul Heyman was doing tonight with that shtick of I'm just going to keep naming the family members and naming and naming and naming. It was very clever. And then Solo cutting him off. Love that tonight.
No, really good. And you know, those facial expressions from Paul Heyman, not only what he says, because we all know that he's a hell of a talker, but it's the facial expressions too. Everything, the complete package. Too bad Paul Heyman can't bump like a Scott D'Amore. It would have been awesome.
It also reminded me, we were talking about stand-up earlier. Very similar when you start mentioning Umaga rolling over in his grave. This was Gilbert Gottfried the late great Gilbert Gottfried has a very good, not safe for work bit about Catherine Zeta-Jones and the diseases Gilbert Gottfried would be willing to catch if it meant that he had a shot with Catherine Zeta-Jones. And I like that Heyman you kept thinking he was over with the names and just kept naming, going further and further with it. I loved this tonight. This was so funny. So well done. And I like how Solo, you said, do you like that when Solo tapes up that he's got the thumb up?
Oh, yeah, I do, because of the Samoan spike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
very good.
It's the little things that matter.
Agreed.
Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez had a championship celebration tonight.
Which was interrupted.
Yes, surprise.
Immediately.
Yeah. I love that, Glenn. Surprise. Guess
Yes.
what? We didn't get to finish our celebration.
They're very charming. They have a good chemistry together, but they were interrupted by Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green.
Who actually made sense.
They did make sense because they didn't pin Lita. This was lost due to Trish. So they're going to get a match. What do you think? I'm going to save my opinion for last on this, but Issa, to you first. Chelsea Green and Sonya, what do you think of their gimmick and shtick together?
It's not for me.
Jimmy?
I think they're okay together because, they're two heels and they're whiny heels, it sounds like, despite the fact that, like you said, the reason, saying that how are you champions when you didn't pin the actual champion?
That was good.
That was good. But, hey, I like, and we need somebody because there's a lack of depth in the women's tag division, especially.
Absolutely.
And I guess once the situation with Ronda Rousey is healed up and she's back to 100%, maybe that'll be the next rivalry for Raquel and Liv.
Well, once I saw this, I can't unsee it. And this isn't them. This isn't on Chelsea or Sonya. They're doing the best with the material and the shtick they're told. But the writers for them, this is shades of the Iconics. And now I can't unsee that watching their segments. It kind of bugs me a little bit because I thought the Iconics were a better version of this.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'll pay closer attention. I don't see Iconics in Chelsea and Sonya.
Little bit. Not as over the over the top, but there was just something about their chemistry. It was just like, oh, yeah, that's what they're starting to remind me of. Mia Lee with $4.99 super chat saying, "Can we thank Sonya for making sense because technically they didn't beat the champions? WTF justice for Lita. Hey, Trish is going to explain herself on Monday."
Yeah,
and that's another good little thing. They did a good job of plugging what's coming up for Monday.
Yes. Now, do you think Trish is going to use the phrase "you people" in her promo?
I hope not.
Oh boy. As long as she doesn't say "you people,"
Brian Barry, Buck99 saying Issa versus Rhea for the title of Backlash. Book it.
She gonna pin me the way she's been pinning this girl? Because I'll do the job. If you catch my drift.
And Brian saying, again, I wonder what Murphy thinks every time he sees Dom.
He says our adopted son, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Dominic. I mean, he needs new parents, clearly.
Shinsuke Nakamura is back.
I'm sorry. Shinsuke has my heart. I love Shinsuke so much.
Yes. Squashed Madcap Moss tonight.
First of all, you're not even acknowledging the fit. This man comes out in one of the slayerest looking coats I've seen him. And Shinsuke is very notorious for wearing some slayering gear, okay? But this black shiny with the leather trimming, my God, he looked amazing. Like he was like, I haven't been here in months. I'm gonna make a statement. Glenn, are you okay?
Okay. Like, so why am I the recap person? One, when you do this, but two, why don't I think I have your new video series. You should do like the way he does the red carpet. You should just do wrestle fits. And just
you're giving me so many ideas. I can't keep up with all the ideas.
Just recap and describe whatever. That should be your entire SmackDown recap on Wrestle Fits.
Yeah, it should.
And describing it this way because you use such prose and such elegant language the way you describe this, and I'm laughing because it tickles me, Issa.
Well, and then he removes this incredible coat to reveal this black and white just jumpsuit. Fashion Nova could never. Like, let me tell you something. Fashion Nova could never put out something like what Shinsuke was wearing today. So I want to give Shinsuke all of the props for knowing that we missed him. And he was going to come out and make sure that he knew that he put effort into his look for tonight. Incredible. Missed the music, missed the entrance, mixed that charisma. Like, Shinsuke is everything, okay?
He's great.
Yeah, I was absolutely let down once they said it was Madcap.
Well, you got to start somewhere, right?
I guess, yeah. No, I agree with you, Issa. Though he looked fantastic. The entrance was awesome, and the people were solidly into his return. And that's again the main thing is what the reaction you get from the audience. And once the crowd at home hears the live audience react to that, it's infectious. It kind of it's a trickle through the tube effect, for lack of a better. Well, they don't use tubes anymore. Sorry, trickle through the LED doesn't sound as good though. But no, it was a nice. It's just like you said, against Madcap Moss, you kind of figured okay. They tried at the beginning where Madcap had the early jump on him to get a little bit of offense in, but it was still a quick match where Shinsuke made easy work of him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and shout out to Emma trying to hype up her man before he comes out. And she said, he's never won the Enter the Giant Battle Royal like you did. And I'm like, Shinsuke's a Royal Rumble winner, lady. Like, book me against Emma for Backlash. That annoyed me. She did a good job because I was insulted and I'm not even Shinsuke.
Emma is a lot of fun, and I'm really glad she's back in the company. But I wish she was getting to do the badass Emma shtick with the motorcycle cop glasses and the gloves again. I thought that was really good before she left. But yeah, Shinsuke's back, and he's going to be in a feud with Karrion Kross. We had a nice backstage with Scarlett and Karrion and a tarot card.
I really would like to see. I really would like to see Shinsuke go to Raw. We have actually never seen Shinsuke perform on Monday Night Raw. I'm hoping this Karrion Kross. I mean, this could be something for both of them if done right. But I could see Shinsuke going to Raw, feuding with like an Austin Theory. There's a lot of people that I haven't seen him feud with. I just don't think that Karrion Kross is on top of my list for Shinsuke right now. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Yeah. It kind of caught me off guard, caught me a little bit by surprise. And yeah, it would be interesting to see him go to Raw and against, like you said, like an Austin Theory, but also staying on the SmackDown and facing the Intercontinental Champion. That could be an interesting matchup as well.
But we saw it. Yeah. He faced Gunther before he was gone for a little while.
Right, but there's a past history. You know what I mean? That they can.
Also, WWE shop, the tarot cards, like wrestling tarot cards. I will buy that in a second. Please make it happen because that Shinsuke card looked incredible.
That did look cool.
Yeah. And the Rey Mysterio one was not bad either.
Yeah.
I know the head merch guy. Let me give him a call.
There you go. This is good for Karrion Kross, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, he's looking better now that his hair is growing out a bit more. It was at an awkward stage for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like at the AJ Styles when he debuted at awkward stage. Because he wasn't long, he wasn't short, he had that weird hair, remember?
Oh.
Yes.
Well, it's better. As Edge referred to it back in the day when I was first starting with the company, it still looks better than the Frollet.
The Frollet. No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Ricochet and Braun Strowman were just walking around backstage.
Mm-hmm.
And the Viking Raiders attacked them out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
They look attackable.
I don't know, just a little random thing just to get a match going. Okay, we'll set up a match with these two. How do we do it? Oh, they're walking backstage. We'll just jump them. I don't know. It just felt very random. Let's put it that way.
Yes. We will see
You
where
wouldn't
this
attack them. You don't think they look like somebody you want to jump just from them walking by? I would.
I mean, I like Ricochet and Braun Strowman.
So you wouldn't attack them?
No, I think actually I'd be really curious what kind of conversations they have just hanging out.
Who looks attackable to you, Glenn? Who would be somebody that if they're walking backstage, you would just jump them immediately? Same question to you, Jimmy.
I mean, it's really not my shtick, but you know, I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I'm not a strike first kind of guy. You know,
come on, we're just fantasy booking here, guys.
I know. I can't think of anybody on the current roster, but back in the day, you know, many times I wanted to attack Tony Chimmel.
I love that. See, Glenn, this is good. It's like wrestling confessions. Who would you attack, Glenn? Come on.
I mean, I don't dislike anyone that
Glenn,
much.
come on.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe like Adam Pearce or something. You know, I mean.
Okay, that's a good one too. I kind of want to attack him too. I feel like I would attack a lot of people actually.
Actually, that would be my gimmick to where I would do that, and then people look up the matchups and storylines tonight and be like, "Man, Pierce is coming up with some brilliant stuff," and it's because I've like attacked him and kidnapped him and like replaced.
And you're the one coming up with the stories.
Yeah.
That's actually good.
That would be my plan. So Paul Heyman had a mic. He was in the ring, and in 2 weeks. There's going to be a rematch for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Kevin and Sami versus the Usos. And Reigns is becoming impatient.
I like the fact.
He said, according to Paul Heyman. Do you think Paul Heyman ever just makes up things? Because it's not like Roman watches SmackDown when he's not there. Even when he is there. You know?
Well, Paul Heyman is great at, if there is one person that could probably give a little bit of creative license to improvise, I think Paul Heyman is one guy you can probably trust to not go too far off the beaten path. Let's put it that way.
Do you ever think he's backstage and he's in like catering and he's like, I was just on the phone with the tribal chief and he is very upset that we do not have fresh locks and capers here in catering every week. And this is not me, Paul.
Tribal chief does not make Paul Heyman eat at catering. You've seen Paul Heyman's Twitter posts. He sends him to the nicest restaurants at whatever city they're at. Come on, you really think Roman will put that garbage in his gorgeous body? No.
I'm not a locks person. I know a lot of locks people. Maybe Paul Heyman enjoys the locks. It's possible. But I think occasionally Paul speaks on behalf of Roman and just sort of makes it up.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Sheldon Jackson, $10 super chat saying, do y'all think the Usos will get the tag titles back in 2 weeks since King and Queen of the Ring has been rebranded as Night of Champions and will take place in Saudi? And for obvious reasons, we know Sami won't be there. I mean,
that's actually a valid point.
It is a valid point, but I don't know.
I wouldn't want to see KO and Sami have such a short reign. I know that.
Right.
But Night of Champions is typically branded as the night every champion has to defend their titles.
Right. Maybe they allow for a sub in that tag team title match.
Oh, it's Riddle and Kevin?
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
And then what? We pin Riddle and they lose the titles that way, like they did with the women.
Yeah.
Well, Solo
I wouldn't go that similar route, but hey,
Right.
you never know.
Solo Sikoa beat Matt Riddle tonight
Good.
in the main event.
Yeah.
Why do you laugh? I say what I mean, you know?
I was distracted by Riddle's very tight shorts.
Yeah,
tonight.
very, very tight. It's not the first time. He wrestled like that recently.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like maybe you've been putting in the work. Like go up a half size. Get him tailored, let out a little bit. I mean, he makes it work. Like he's clearly working it. But this was a good match.
No, it was a good match, and again, the heat went to the right people, the heels, after the match. But my only issue is if you're going to have ref distractions happening, don't do it in multiple matches. You know what I mean?
Valid.
But it was interesting that the referee went through all that trouble to go outside the ring and separate the 4 members that wanted to fight outside.
And not even involved in the match.
Yeah. So that was odd. And then eject everybody. And then they come back and get involved in the finish anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. So not only did he beat Riddle with the Samoan spike, but then put him through the announce desk after the match.
Mm-hmm.
Bury him.
And buried him with it too. Yeah.
Yeah. This was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I love this match. I thought it was great. I thought Riddle looked good, but I didn't like Solo losing to Cody, so I'm glad that he got that win back. I just feel bad because Riddle is also a returning person. It's another match like what we discussed earlier where I felt both of these guys needed the win. But with the distractions and all that, I don't know that it really hurts Riddle losing here.
No,
Overall, I really liked it. And I like seeing the bloodline staying strong.
They look, it adds more depth to the story. That it looks like they're, at least for the time being, they're all on the same page and they're working together and trying to, almost like they're overly trying to convince themselves that everything is all hunky-dory in the bloodline family.
Right.
So they're doing the rematch in 2 weeks, and then Backlash is happening the next week. That will be the 6-man tag with Riddle, KO, and Sami versus the Usos and Solo.
That's how it looks. That's what it's leading to. Yeah.
That'll be good.
No, it definitely will be good. I think that there's a lot you can do, and you can have the heels go over without costing the tag team champs the championship. And you have another reason to have a rematch for the tag team championships and go on and so forth. Continue the story and continue planting seeds and make it, it almost looks like the bloodlines working together fine right now. And Sami and KO are the ones there's a little tension there. So it's kind of like almost like flip-flopped a little bit, but
right.
Hey.
I mean, the draft is going to be interesting, but you know what I hate what they do though with the draft sometimes is if somebody is in a feud, they have both people get drafted to the same brand.
Yeah.
That's the most annoying thing.
The only time they were very smart about it, and it wasn't even a draft. I thought when they separated Ray and Dominic, they were able to allow that storyline to breathe, and then he came back at the right time. I love that Jimmy continue the story because that's what Cody is apparently trying to do. He's never going to finish. He's just going to continue and continue and continue.
Long-term storytelling. That's what it's about.
Yeah. He's gonna lose to Brock.
We shall see. If
Brock is gonna go on to face Gunther, that's what the rumors, right? We're talking about the news. Rumors are that we are getting Gunther at Brock at SummerSlam. Do you see Brock losing a Backlash? I don't know.
That's a good point. It's a very good point. But at the same time, again, here's the story for Cody and him trying to overcome adversity.
What if the story is you can't overcome adversity?
Exactly. You need to get sympathy on the babyface, and still, as much as the crowd is behind Cody right now, the audience, at the same time, they haven't. There was no sympathy for him.
Right.
If you get my drift.
Yeah, I do. As long as he stays away from Roman, I'm fine with whatever he does.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. That was SmackDown, everybody.
Yeah.
What an easy show to recap because good wrestling matches. It actually went by pretty fast. I thought it was a fun show. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So follow Jimmy at Jimmy Korderas on Twitter. Issa's at NYC Demon Diva. That's Diva with the 1. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. If you like the show, like, share, subscribe, leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to your on-demand audio. And we will get you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take